Hey guys, what it do? It's your boy Supreme Uchiha the God. There's probably a few videos that I promised y'all that I haven't done yet, but I be forgetting. So today I came up with something different. Um, Top 10. I didn't feel inspired to really talk about any one webtoon manga or whatever. I do want to talk about Tower of God eventually, but I just didn't have like a good solid train of thought. So instead, here's my top 10 webtoons, and one of them might technically not be a webtoon or webcomic, whatever, but hey, fuck it, it's a webtoon today. I'm not gonna order these because honestly, I'm too lazy to, and it's gonna require more thinking than I'm willing to put right now. I'm really tired. But we're gonna still have a fun video. So I want to start off with Peerless Dad, just because I don't think I have a video about Peerless Dad in this channel. Do I? I don't know. I might, but I don't think I do. So Peerless Dad is something, one of the King Kido, shout out King Kido. He hasn't been in the comment section for a while, but he actually recommended it for me, and I read it, and bro, it's beautiful, man. I love it. It's basically, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's basically about dad, which sounds what the fuck, like it's just about a dad. Yes, it's about a dad who is just trying to do his best for his kids and his family, and he's really strong, but he's not like OP. He's not on some solo leveling, fucking One Punch Man type vibes. No, but it's a really good martial arts based webtoon, and it's meaningful. There's a lot of story arcs. There's a lot of things about real life, lessons about real life that you can get from it as well. It delves into naivety and how that plays a role in how you experience life and how you go through life, either positively or negatively. And it also kind of showcases, no matter how talented you think you are, somebody out there is just more talented than you, or is just better than you at something. It's really, really fucking good. I literally caught up with it in 2 days, like 140 something chapters, and these chapters aren't short. Like, I caught up in that bitch in 2 days, bro. Now I'm waiting. Every week or 2 weeks for updates, but it's worth it, and there's a lot of chapters. Definitely check out Peerless Dad, man. That shit is beautiful. A plus. Then we got Weak Hero, which is on hiatus right now. We're waiting for season 2, which hopefully comes through this summer. Look, Weak Hero is for the type of genre it is. It's nearly perfect. It's literally nearly perfect. It's just so good. The characters are good. The villains are the ones that we meet are pretty well fleshed out. It's kind of ambiguous sometimes. Where ambiguous sometimes, where you're like, yo, I kind of side with the bad guys in this one. Like, they both right. I fought with the bad guys. Like, it really delves. Again, I'm not gonna spoil any of these shows, but it really delves deep into the character psyches, and our protagonist is not a little bitch, bro, and that's so pivotal. Usually in this type of webtoons, school-based webtoons with bullies and stuff like that, usually the kid getting bullied is just the little biggest wimp on earth. You like, bro, like, do something, bro, like, protect yourself, do something, man. What are you doing? Like, it's so frustrating sometimes reading that shit, where you're like, bro, that could never be me, bro. I'd rather they kill me than let motherfucker do that shit to me, spit on me, and do all that bullshit. Our protagonist is like those, bro. He built different, bro. He built different. You find that shit out quick. He built different. And it's great. All the characters around him, his friends, they all get a great development. The backstories is great. Everything adds up pretty well. It's not always hyper realistic. Not gonna lie. Some of the fights you're like, come on, bro. But overall, it's just phenomenal. Probably in my top 3 favorite webtoons, like, right now. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. It's just amazing. Over 100 chapters as well, so you got plenty to read up on before season 2 comes out. That's one I just gotta highly recommend. I hope I'm explaining this well. I'm kind of explaining it as to somebody who's never read them without spoiling it. So if you're like, yo, you should mention this and this and this, that's probably why I didn't mention it. But yeah, check that out if you haven't checked out Weak Hero yet. I can't wait for season 2 to come out. Then there's Tower of God. Tower of God is a roller coaster for me, and from my own experience, this is very subjective here. From my experience, it's a roller coaster. Season 1 is really good. Season 2 is unbelievable. It is top tier. I think season 2 for me is the only A plus tier season. Season one is like a B plus to me, but season two is unbelievable for the most part. You know, the introduction of new characters, the way, you know, the story progressed. I'm just trying to say this without spoiling it, so sorry that I gotta like have to think about it for a second. But basically, Tower of God is a story about a tower where if you reach the very top, right? If you reach the very top of that tower, you basically get granted any wish at all, whatever it is, you get granted that wish. And so you got thousands of millions of people that live within the tower. Some people are born there, other people forced their way into the towers, and other people, live just on the outskirts of the tower and can get into the tower type shit. You know what I'm saying? And basically, well, no, you live in the tower. Sorry, you got to live in the tower. You force yourself into the tower, and those born in the tower can choose to climb it. It doesn't matter where you're born. You can choose to climb it. If you want to go up or down and freely, traverse through the floors, you have to actually climb the tower from the ground up almost. And those tests and stuff like that. And it's a really weird kind of story because it's very shonen, but it also has a lot of unique quirks. The characters are really really good for the most part. The villain is actually my favorite thing about the webtoon. The villain is really really interesting and very very unique. And it's one of the few times where you get a villain where you wonder, you know what I'm saying? You like, I wonder how it's gonna turn out. Truly, it's very very good. And there's several villains. There's a bunch of villains throughout. You kind of uncertain who the main villain will or is, and that's kind of that ambiguousness actually makes it really interesting. All the side characters are very interesting. The new characters you meet later on, they somehow make you care about characters you've never met before. Really really well for the most part. Not every arc is a gold mine. Even in season 2, not every arc is a gold mine, but overall, a lot of it is a gold mine. I think season 3 has been its weakest season by a long shot. But even that has its really really good moments. And you follow this kid called Bam, and he's somebody that doesn't know much about anything at all, and you kind of explore how and why. It's almost like a newborn baby, and you learn and see a lot of things through their eyes, but you also see it through other people's eyes. It's very very interesting and a very unique tale, if you ask me. The anime does not do it any service whatsoever. So if that's your POV, just be like, imagine all that weirdness but done really really fucking well. That's Tower of God. So I just gotta recommend Tower of God always. It's in my top 10. I don't think it'll ever fall off of my top 10 unless season 3 goes that bad and then season 4 goes even worse. I don't see that happening either. I think the author's taking a break for his own well-being, and because there's it's almost like Attack on Titan on overdose. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like the scope is larger. Those wilder and weirder things. Attack on Titan is very confined but also massive scope, while this is beyond massive scope, and things can get confusing sometimes. So I think sometimes even the author himself has to like sit back and rethink and reconnect every piece. But it's so worth the read. It's so worth some of the confusions that you may get. It's definitely something worthy of your time. Then I want to talk about something that's not really action based thus far. Tower of God, Peerless Dad, and Weak Hero, all very action based. I want to talk about Windbreaker. There's some action in Windbreaker, but it's not action based. It's a cycling webtoon. And you're like, what the fuck? You talk about a cycling webtoon? Yes, it's a very urban. I hate the word urban, but very like today. That's what I'll say. The very today webtoon. It's based around today. Like the way people dress. The motherfuckers got Yeezys on. They got Jordans on. Like these motherfuckers flexing. Like they looking good in the bit, bro. If you wanna drip up your closet, bro, read Windbreaker. It's gonna show you some drip you ain't never seen, bro. If you don't know how to wear and you trying to pull some guys or girls or whatever it is, bro, trust me, get your drip on Windbreaker. That shit gonna suss you the fuck up, bro. It's a story about several characters. So at first, I don't really like. You can argue who the main character is, kind of. There's implications, and most people would say it's one person, but I actually think there's kind of multiple protagonists. Personally, from my viewing of the story, you do get the kind of almost sponge like protagonist who doesn't do that much speaking, which can be done well sometimes and can be done poorly, but in Windbreaker it's done really, really well. And the character begins to kind of express themselves later on. But it's it's basically about some kids that love cycling, and they get in trouble and they go to school, and there's a cycling tournament and they create friends and they lose friends, and there's a lot of sad situations. It's just it's a seinen webtoon, and it's just really fucking good. The characters, the friendship, the relationships, it's really just about real life, for the most part, with obviously a bit of exaggerations and crazy twists, but it's really, really good. And some of the characters you can meet on one side of the equation and later on the other side of the equation, and some characters, like there's a lot of things happening at the same all the time. It's like a drama, but it's a very fucking good drama. And if you fuck with drama, this is a must read. Windbreaker. The cycling. Look, I was not into cycling before. I'm still not into cycling now, but god damn it, I love Windbreaker. And it took me a while to give it a chance in like 2014, 2015 when I gave it a chance. It took me a lot of time, but because I was like, I don't care about no cycling. But after I read the first 2-3 chapters, I was like, bruh, it's GG. It's GG. This shit is beautiful. This shit is beautiful. Sometimes I do take breaks from it, not because it's ever not good. It's always really good. It's just sometimes the chapters are too goddamn short. And reading it on a weekly can be frustrating, but there's tons of chapters for you. And when you read that shit in book, it's goated, and it's just really good. But yes, I think my only complaint is really that chapters can be too short. And is that really a complaint? Then I want to talk about Planetary Human, bro. Planetary Human, bro. I'm gonna come back for Planetary Human. Let's talk about something different again. Let's go. Let's go to the Boxer. The Boxer is one of the most intriguing ones out of everything I'm going to talk about here. The Boxer is really, really, really intriguing and something you just must read. I remember first reading it and I didn't like it because I'm really good at predicting how stories go. Depending on how complex the story is, I usually can read how it will go within the first 5 to 10 chapters. And the Boxer was one of the few that I was just completely wrong about. And I admit it, I was completely wrong. I thought this shit was gonna go like the way I thought it would go. You have this super talented boxer, and they're just gonna be OP or whatever, and that's it. But the story is just so much more than that. It really is so much more than that. Every character you meet is just layered and layered with depth. Like, you really learn about these motherfuckers. Like, you see a motherfucker, you like, nah, that motherfucker, you don't like him. You read on, you're like, damn, bro, that's why he like this, bro. Damn, maybe am I being too harsh on him? Like, it's really like it takes it to a whole nother level. It's almost episodic, but it's also linear at the same time. I don't know how, but it just is. Like, you meet so many different characters, and all of them have the most compelling stories you've ever read. Like, it's almost like you're reading a ton of short stories, but it's the same story and it's always moving forward. It's just beautiful, bro. It's beautiful. The way they just pierce at your emotions, they really yank your heart, bro, and they pull it left and right and all over the shop, and they really make you think like, yo, bro, golly, what would I do in that situation? The Boxer is phenomenal, bro. Absolutely phenomenal. The fighting is extremely exaggerated, but it's not what makes the Boxer any good at all, to be honest with you. It's the character explorations, you know what I'm saying? The characters break down those stories, bro, the anecdotes. It's really what makes it a very, very unique webtoon that just takes things to completely different heights and takes your feelings and emotions to completely different heights. It's a study of the human mind almost, you know what I'm saying? It's really, really beautiful, and it really pushes the message of sometimes what you think ain't what you really know. Sometimes perception is a lie. Sometimes what you see on the outside when you look at somebody is not true. It's just not real, and it's just absolutely beautiful, bro. Absolutely beautiful. Then we have Planetary Human. Is one of my favorite things to read, man. I've been raving about Planetary Human for I don't know how long, bro. But boy, guys, please, man. It's a strange webtoon. I understand. It's very, very strange. It can kind of be hard to piece together in little bits of it, but it's just really fucking good. It's really, really good. It's basically a story about if your body was a planet. Not everybody's body is a planet, but some specific bodies are planets, and they house civilizations, and those civilizations growth and expansion dictates whether the planet lives, dies, is OP, is weak, is strong, etc. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really fucking good. And the person's personality and they themselves is almost a collection of the society. It's just really, really good, but they're also independent from them. It's just really fucking good. And it's just hard to it's probably one of the most unique things I've ever read. And I can't wait to read the author's other stories because he kind of connects all these universes into one. So you have these, planetary humans in this world, but there's also other things happening from other people in other planets and other not other planets, but like other people around and all that other stuff. And that's also very unique because he builds the story into one world with different scopes and different things, and you can easily miss that planetary humans exist on the other story, and you can easily miss that this other thing exists on planetary, like in the planetary human world, where where other things are happening, because it's just really good. It's like, imagine like mutants and mages, for example, right? And there's a few of them around the world, and they could share the same world but never meet or know that the other exists. It's basically like that. It's just really fucking good. It's also a story about memory and what makes a person. What makes a person? Is it the collective memories? Is it life experience? What makes you you? Right? You shed all your cells. You're not the same person you were 10 years ago. At what point would you say like today me is just not the same human as 10 years ago me? Like, it's really, really intriguing, and it's a great character and personality analysis of ourselves, of of humans in general. It also talks about, it showcases, how sometimes being a sibling, an older sibling, the pressures of being the pressures of being an older sibling, and and how that can affect you mentally. The toughness of being a single parent. It just, oh man, the story is just beautiful, bro. Planetary Human for me is a must fucking read, and I understand like it might take a minute to fully comprehend. It might take a few chapters to get into, but it's not freaking One Piece where it takes 335 episodes to get into. It doesn't. I'm exaggerating. I watched 150 or so episodes of One Piece. It's good. I gave up because there's so many episodes. I might actually do a 1 by 1 episode of One Piece daily for y'all. That might be fun. Or maybe 5-10 episodes at a time. I don't know. But yeah, man, Planetary Human, check that shit out. Then we got Lookism. Very, very good. I've been reading this, I think, the longest out of all of these webtoons and stories. I've been reading Lookism for the longest. I've been reading Lookism since 2012, 2013, just before I went to uni. That's, I started reading Lookism and just fell in love with it, bro. If the story can be split up into trees, right? What chapter like 200 something, nearly 300, and you can maybe 300 to be honest. You can split the story into three parts. The first part of it is a story about a kid who's almost it's essentially ungrateful, but the kid is having a hard time getting bullied and they're struggling, and then they get a beautiful body. This is a part of the synopsis, so I feel I can tell you this. They get this secondary body because they're ugly, and that's why it's called Lookism. So ugly people get mistreated and treated wrongly, etc., etc. And he gets this blessed with this overly attractive body, and people automatically start treating him different. People automatically start showing him respect. Girls automatically want to swoon over him, but it's the same motherfucker with the same personality. And it really showcases how the world is very surface deep. Everybody tries to claim how deep and blah 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 they are, but really everybody is really surface. Like, not everybody, but a lot of people are really just surface deep. Like, the first thing you see is somebody's looks, is how somebody looks like. So obviously that's going to be your first reaction, your first initial like it's your first representation of somebody's how you look, how you dress. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to stick with them. So that could dictate who and what you end up becoming to that person. So it's really, really good at that. The second part, which is is different again, is it explores trauma. It explores trauma and how it affects different people. It really delves deep into trauma, and a lot of the characters have been through a lot of traumatic situations, and you see how all of them deal with it in their own unique ways. You see how some of them lash out at the world for that trauma, and you see how others try to prevent that trauma to others, and you see how others shell themselves up to protect themselves from further trauma, and you really see so much within that. And then there's the other kind of wackier part of it, was there's a society of people that basically are using kids to bully other kids to make money, and utilizing that to fund the companies, and to fake, to get away from taxes, and to do all of these type of things. And that's kind of also happening in the story. Really taps upon some of Korea's almost hidden secret. How those several hundred kids that are sold every year in Korea. The author highlights those less than glamorous parts of Korea that the media and people don't really talk about, because K-pop and Webtoon and anime. So it's really, really intriguing, an intriguing study, in-depth study at Korea, and some of the things that a lot of kids there face. You know what I'm saying? The scandals that those they're trying to arrest a bunch of people because those girls that have been in this is real life, by the way. Girls that have been almost sold into slavery in Korea, blackmailed to the point where they got to do the crazy shit on camera for rich people, right? And for people to pay money and make them cut themselves, and they get raped in these black market videos, etc., etc. And this is very, very interesting, because this is something that what LOOKISM is unafraid to cover. It just goes head on and talks about it and showcases it, and you really feel it, the trauma and the things that's happening even in the countries we deem as beautiful and peaceful. There's a lot of secrets there. There's a lot of things hidden behind all of that beauty, and it's really, really good at that. And I just gotta salute LOOKISM for that. It's not always the best webtoon on earth, but god damn it, he talks about some of the most important shit, and I love it for that. And then I want to talk about Hardcore Leveling Warrior. Hardcore Leveling Warrior season 1 for me is one of the greatest. Like, it's just unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. It's about a guy that actually there's a few protagonists here, so it's about two people. It's about a guy who's the most OP motherfucker in this like interactive video game where it's called Lucid Adventure, where you step into a dream and you play as this character, and you feel and you move and you eat and you talk and you do all this type of things in that game. And time obviously moves way faster within the game than it does in the real world. And this guy is essentially a slave to a company, who kind of gave him the opportunity to live a better life. And when he loses the number 1 ranking, he gets treated like shit again. And this is the story of how he tries to gain back his status as the number 1 hero, the number 1 gamer. And as the number 1 gamer, you make real money, real life money. You can get rich off the game. It's almost like Bitcoin in a way. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very intriguing. The world is very, very intriguing. Those super beings, those things outside of it, different forces playing a part. And then there's this kid who's just loves his granddad and just wants to see his granddad. And his granddad is the creator of the game, and his granddad is in a coma, so he can only be interacted with within this game. And within this game, he's trying to do as much as he can to help people, right? To help people, and to also kind of free his family from the shackles of wanting the power of his company, of his multi-billion-dollar industry and company. And his kids are crazy and try to get it. And then there's just his grandson who just appreciates him as a person and actually wants to just hang out with him and just know him, and that's all he cares about. And it's really, really intriguing, just watching this kid, this snotty little kid, really grow up and become something special. It's hard to explain Hardcore Leveling Warrior without spoiling it, but basically the story of these two guys, lots of actions, lots of monster killing, and those different characters, but I don't really want to talk about them because they kind of spoil it. But there's a lot of great characters in it. There's a lot of great stories in it. There's Yopi. There's like so many interesting people in this arc, people that you're like, are they villain, are they hero, and you really be asking this question. Even our main protagonist himself, Ethan, you'd be like, is that motherfucker a hero, is he a villain, like what the fuck is he? And the motivations of people, and you gotta kind of see, you get to see how people can really only be out there for themselves. Like some motherfuckers really be out there just from themselves, and then some people be selfless to a fault. So it's really, really intriguing, really, really phenomenal, and something you should definitely check out. Season 2 hasn't been as amazing overall, but bits of it have been absolutely phenomenal. It's also not that far into it yet, so there's still a lot of potential. There's still so much to learn. Binge worthy, must read. And then I think I'm at the last two. I must go with Troll Trap first, just because I think it's easier and a bit quicker. I feel like this video has been like 30 minutes long, way longer than I intended. But hey, I quality content. So I want to talk about Troll Trap, man. Troll Trap is really, really good. It's very new, only like 50 chapters deep, and it's just a story about a kid that hunts trolls. And you just, you really see that, and a girl that's like a normal motherfucker that kind of gets pulled into this world, and it's just really interesting. It's hard to talk about without spoiling this place. But basically, the kid has something within him. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the Demon Fox thing, but it has its own merits. It's not. It's different. You know what I'm saying? It's very different. There is a world of trolls, and these trolls, they kill people and they do all type of bad things. And as a troll trapper, your job is to go and kill these trolls. But you start to discover that maybe things aren't so black and white. Maybe, the people that they're working for may not be the greatest people on earth. And maybe what they're doing themselves may not be the greatest things. I might have just spoiled it. My God. You also learn just about like how people interact with each other. I don't know. I can't really. I'm not going to talk about Troll Trap. Just read it, bro. It's really good. It's really fucking good. It's really good. I feel like anything I say will spoil the shit. It's only 50 chapters deep, but fuck it. Troll Trap, just read it. And then One Punch Man. Everybody knows One Punch Man. Now you'll be like, what the fuck? One Punch Man is not a webtoon. It's actually the original one is a webcomic. And thus far I'm preferring the webcomic to the manga. Mainly because the manga just keeps fucking moving backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and redrawing and redoing and read that, and it's just annoying as fuck. So it's hard to keep up with. You read this chapter, 5 chapters later you go back to that chapter like, bruh. And then they changed everything within those chapters, and now you're fucking confused because now you can't remember which one is canon. And it's like, bro, come on, bro. Make up your goddamn mind, Murata. Make up your goddamn mind, Murata. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, bro, because one doesn't really do it. Like, Murata kind of leads it with one's guidance. So, but the webcomic is better. Although some of the character exploration is done better in the manga. So it's just, it's One Punch Man essentially, but it's really fucking good. It just gets better and better. Everybody knows One Punch Man. If you don't know what One Punch Man, go watch fucking season 1 on Netflix. What are you doing? Unbelievable. OP guy just wants to save the world for fun. That's really it. Nah, there's way more deeper involved in it. It's really a study of the human race and how selfish we can be, and how we really anybody can turn into a villain within a flash, because we kind of want winners to lose. We want people at the top to fold and tumble. If you look at cancel culture, it's very similar. Like anything you do, even if it helps people, like, right? Like Kylie Jenner donated money to a cause, right? For not even somebody she's really friends with, but somebody she knew like a few years back. And boom, she gets absolutely attacked for it. Now, allegedly, the actual scenario is the goal was 10,000. They had raised like 4 or 5,000 or 6,000 or something. She covered the rest and then shared it, maybe hoping that they can get it, extra leeway on top of that. And people were like, oh, but the thing is 60K and she only put 5K. And they basically kind of threw her under the bus. But, allegedly, the family did that in order to get more money and just, cover everything on top of whatever else, because they realized, oh shit, like this is covered way quicker than we thought. And then they did that, and then that's when the story came out, and they were like 60K, but she only donated 5K, but it was 10K beforehand. She donated 5K it became 10K, and then she just shared it like, yo, show love, because you can donate more than the limit, right? And and then it just extended the limit and extended the amount of it, and it made her look horrendous. But that's just how quickly somebody can turn into a villain for helping people, and that's the thing. But people, people are so ready to shoot and attack people that nobody tries to think about it or go back to it and be like, why did she only donate 5? You know what I'm saying? And even if she only donated 5, she still helped. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting. Just how people are. And One Punch Man is that at a deeper level. You know what I'm saying? You save a city today, and tomorrow, because you didn't save it perfectly and there was collateral damage, man, you could have saved it better. Like, the fuck, you want all of y'all to die? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to save motherfuckers. Like, I ain't got time to be thinking about, oh damn, this is somebody's car. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, damn, that's somebody's life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's crazy. But One Punch Man, obviously spectacular. And I think that is where I'll end the video, right? I talked about the Boxer, Windbreaker, Peerless Dad, Weak Hero, Tower God, Hardcore Level, LOOKISM, Untitled Chapter. Those are my top 10 webtoons, man. If you want to read any of these, you should go check it out. I do have other like genre webtoons and stuff like that are in my top 10, but a lot of them are finished. And I just wanted to only talk about stuff that aren't finished. I might do a completed webtoon top 10 at some point, but that's gonna be a while away. Anyways, been your boy Supreme Cheer, the God. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. Love me like a rock star in your dreams. Ooh, dreams. Love me like a rock star.